Hey, welcome you all. Thank you so much for being here. I hope your day has been amazing so far. I want to talk to you about this crime that you might be committing. All right, so if this is your first time here, welcome to the Confetti Collective. We are a digital media platform for women. I am Mo James, founder and certified confidence coach here at the Confetti Collective, and my job is to activate your audacity, to boost your boldness. We are here to help you cultivate your confidence in all of those things. We believe that confidence is an essential building block to a big beautiful life. And I want to talk to you today about this crime that is common among women who have decided that they are moving forward. They're going to start or move through their confidence journey because I don't want anybody to operate under the misconception that this journey, this confidence journey, this personal growth journey is super easy and it's literally just like the game of Candyland. It's not. There's going to be bumps and bruises. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be a lot of unlearning that has to be done while you learn new things. And what I want to talk about today is this crime that is very common in women that have decided that they want to take control of their lives. They want to make their confidence and their sense of self worth a non negotiable. And I believe this happens more so in women. We don't often see this in men because women are conditioned to be likable, right? Society, the world, we are taught there are unconscious seeds planted in us from the time we are little girls to be likable, to be nice. We are taught that our value is based on external validation instead of internal affirmation. And what happens is those seeds get planted and then they manifest in our adulthood and they come through in all types of things, right? So I want to talk about this crime that is called the crime of outshining. The crime of outshining. So here's the thing. Here's what let's keep it real for a second. So all of us human beings, women, men alike, we all kind of have this inner barometer or this inner gauge that tells us, that sends us these messages about how much love, success, joy, peace, happiness we can have in our lives, right? And those that inner thermostat, that inner gauge is planted, you know, from our upbringing. It's planted when people say things to us that limit us or that cause us to be small. It's rooted in our upbringing. It's rooted in those seeds of hiding that get planted in us when people say, "Why are you so such and such?" or "Stop being so such and such." So those things get planted in us, and in our adulthood, it manifests as these inner limits that we operate our lives by. We don't recognize that we operate by these limits until we start to push against the limit, right? When we start to push up against it is when we feel that discomfort and we got to choose if we're going to move forward with it or not. That's where the crime of outshining pops in, because what this phenomenon is, it is an inner conversation that we have with ourselves that tells us I cannot or I must not fully expand to the fullness of who I am and who I'm called to be, because if I did, it would make so and so look bad, or it would make so and so angry, or it would make so and so uncomfortable. Remember, we're conditioned to be nice and likable. So when we recognize that if we decide to do something outside of the box that's going to be so different than anybody in our circle has ever seen before, that crime of outshining rears its ugly head and we pull back. We don't do it. We talk ourselves out of it because we know that somebody is going to have an issue, or we tell ourselves that somebody is going to be uncomfortable, or this is going to make somebody mad, or somebody's going to stop talking to me. So we turn our shine into a crime. We turn our growth into something that we don't want. We turn our growth and evolution into a crime because we do not want to offend people. Here's the thing. Here's what 2020 taught me. 2020 taught me that nobody is going to fight you or me or any of us for our own healing, our own growth, or our own transformation. If you are going to argue for your limitations, I promise you, you'll get to keep them. Nobody is going to fight you to come out of something in order for you to grow. If you want to keep those limitations, if you want to keep that smallness because it makes you comfortable, people will let you do it. So we have to condition ourselves that our shining is not a crime. We have to condition ourselves to recognize that when we don't do it, that's the crime. The crime is letting that fear of being alone, or fear of making people mad, or fear of people talking about you. We have to tell ourselves that that fear is not worth the cost of us not shining in the way that we are supposed to. Because that crime of outshining, like I said, we are conditioned to believe that the worst thing a woman can do is to offend somebody. And we've all heard those horror stories, right, of women that have been attacked, and they say, you know what? So the person was following me and I felt uncomfortable, but I didn't want to turn around and say anything and be rude. I didn't want to, say the wrong thing and be wrong. So what? We have got to get into the habit of owning our voice and taking up space in our own lives. If we don't take up the space in our lives, somebody else will. If we don't act like we own this and we have full ownership of our decisions and the things that we do, the things that we say yes and no to, and all of that, if we don't do that, we will end up at the end of our lives full of regret. And I don't want that for any of us. But like I said, this crime of outshining feeds directly into our fear of being alone. And then it creates that conflict or that trauma, that our intuition is dangerous, that we shouldn't trust ourselves. We should trust what other people say before we trust the voice that is in us. And I'm just over it. I'm over that. I'm done with that. That's done. The crime of outshining keeps us comfortable, keeps us in a space of comfort when we know that we are being called to move. The crime of outshining keeps us quiet when we know that speaking up is the right thing to do. The crime of outshining keeps us in that lie of saying, oh, I'm good, when we are 100% the opposite of good. The crime of outshining has us being uncomfortable with conflict, when sometimes conflict is the only way to get to accountability and healing and growth. That's what the crime of outshining does. And I don't want any of us to continue to operate under that lie, because that's what it is. It's a lie. And I'm here to tell you that the minute you decide you are going to stand fully, firmly, fully planted in who you are as a woman in this world, and that you are going to take your place in this world and do the thing that you know that you are called to do, the minute you decide to do that, I want you to expect that crime of outshining to rise up in you. I want you to expect it, because when you know that something is coming, then it cannot disarm you. It cannot defeat you when you were ready for it. So I'm talking about this today because I want all of us to be aware that this thing operates around all of us. And this is the thing, y'all. Every level that you go to, you will deal with this. Because what happens? We get to a certain level, right? In our lives, in our, professional, personal lives. And then we find communities of women and circles of women to connect with. And that's good. That's what we're wired to do. But what we don't recognize is sometimes people will meet you in a certain season and they get comfortable with you being in that season. But when you decide that your season has changed, there is going to be conflict with the ones who will not be comfortable with you changing on them. And I'm not saying this as a as I'm not saying this to cast judgment on those people, because understand that people will only be able to receive you at their level of capacity. So if you right now are with your circle is 8 ounce capacity people, and you decide that you want to get to gallon, don't expect the 8 ounce capacity people to be able to receive you. And that's nothing, like I said, that's no judgment on them. That's just where they are. That you have to recognize what's at stake for you to choose not to go after your gallon and to stay comfortable in 8 ounces. You have to decide it. Your shine is your responsibility, just like theirs is their responsibility. And we can only go along with the choices that other people make. If they've made the choice for themselves, all we can do is support their choice and then choose for ourselves what we're going to do. So I say all of that because this is a preview of the conversation that we are going to be having during the Create Your Confident Vision Life class. Is happening on January 23rd. 2020 showed us that to approach this year and simply make a vision board is not enough. The vision board is okay. That's good. That was good for going into 2020. But armed with everything that we have received from 2020, we cannot approach 2021 and the years going forward in the same way. We did not come through everything that we came through to be unchanged. So if you right now recognize that you want to cultivate in yourself the courage to identify what you want in your life and to follow through on the actions that's going to take to make it happen, but first getting clear on this, then I invite you to grab your ticket for the Create Your Confident Vision Life class. They are $20.21. $20.21. And this conversation that we just had is a snippet of what we're going to have when we talk about how to stop cheating on your vision. Because I know there are many of us out here that made a 2020 vision board, and March 13th happened when the world shut down and that vision board got flipped around, turned over, thrown under the bed. I'm just being honest. You ripped that thing up. You was like, this was a big fat waste of time, but it wasn't. Your vision is still your vision. There's some work necessary to get you to the point that you're going to stop cheating on it. You're going to honor it, and you're going to make everything on that vision board non-negotiable. And you recognize that there's some work, that there's some truths that you're going to need to confront and be willing to be honest about in order for you to get to where you need to get to. Because just like I just said, every level, every phase that you move through in this confidence, personal growth, and development journey, you're going to have to fight against that crime of outshining. It's going to happen. You will have to fight against it. And what I want to do is give you the tools that you need for this time, the next time, the next time, and the next, and the next, and the next. That's what I want to do. It's great that in the past years we've talked about creating a vision board. That's been great. And things have changed. So I am leaning all the way in to these changes and into this next level, everything that 2021 has for me. And I want to bring as many of you along as are willing to say yes. I'm going to say this and then I'm going to go. I want every one of us to understand that we are divinely intended. We are not here for nothing. I saw on news just this morning, 23,600 and something people have left this earth in the first 12 days of this year. 23,600 and something are gone, and you are still here. To me, That means we got something to do. Because I'm still here too. I'm still here too. So we have something to do. And I want us to recognize that this shining thing, our shine, is not a crime. It's not a crime for us. It's not a crime for us to say yes to who we really are and what we are here to do and the people that we are here to impact. It's not a crime for us to do that, because when we shine, we allow others to stand in the light with us and shine for themselves. Oprah Oprah and Gail talk about this a lot. Gail said when people ask her all the time, "What does it feel like to be an Oprah shadow?" She's like, "I'm not an Oprah shadow. I'm an Oprah's light." I would be willing to bet when she saw Oprah decide she was going to launch a whole network, that gave her the permission when it was time to negotiate her contract with CBS News to ask for $1 bajillion, because she saw her sister friend do the same thing. So if she can do it and she can encourage her, you can do it and encourage somebody else. That's why your shine is so important. It's not a crime. It gives other people permission to do the same thing for themselves. So, again, Create Your Confident Vision Live class is happening on January 23rd, 11 a.m. to 3-ish p.m. It's live. We are going to be talking, learning, growing, processing emotions, whatever happens. We're going to be doing it together. And we're going to grow. We are going to come out of this experience ready to make our confidence and ownership of our lives non-negotiable. I do not cede responsibility or authority for my life to anybody else. That's a non-negotiable. Nobody else gets to dictate. I want to empower you to do the same thing for yourself and be free of whatever weight and burdens that you might be carrying about what other people are going to have to say and other people's opinions and other people's everything. I want to help you free yourself from that so that you could be about the business of your life, and you can invite all of the people that are going to witness you do it into the process of doing it for themselves. So I thank you all for tuning in. Like I said, I hope you have had an amazing day so far. I hope that after you watch this video, the rest of your day will be amazing. And if you right now recognize that you need to be in attendance at the Create Your Confident Vision live class, I invite you to click the link attached to this video and grab your ticket. This is the first time 2021 has given us the opportunity to expand what was a local vision board event into a global confident vision life class event. That for me is super duper exciting, because we're going to get to be in the space with women from any and everywhere. We're not limited anymore by zip code. That right there, if nothing else, is a win. It's something that we can attribute to 2020. And I'm ready for it. I'm ready for every bit of it. So thank you all so very much for tuning in. Until my next broadcast, I want you to take care of yourself. I want you to decide that from this point on, you are going to take responsibility, take ownership, and take up space in your life. Because if you don't do it, somebody else will. I will catch you in my next broadcast. Bye.